Hi everybody! We're trying to get the camera to work. Hopefully it's going to be okay tonight. Welcome to Materia D&D, where we play D&D our way, and that means the DM is getting his steps in on his treadmill. So, we're picking up on the Crass Menagerie story, where they are in the swamps along the River Sly, or I should say the marshlands along the River Sly, west of the crater that is now the ruins of Greenhill. Crass Menagerie, have rendezvoused, or not even meant to, but they encountered Julian and his crew aboard the River's Mall, a cargo man's vessel that has gone through some serious modifications. And in this case, it is now a riverboat that is capable of magical flights. And thanks to, mostly in part to the tinkerings and workings of one very gifted and talented artificer, merfolk that has come back into the story, Wiggs. The Crass Menagerie, having boarded themselves on the River's Mall, on the River Mall, exchanged some dialogue and some information with Julian. Later, he said it was time for the vessel to go down, and they kind of landed in an inlet where they saw a workshop with a large U-shaped dock where the River's Maw landed and floated in the water, where the rest of the menagerie, the new members of the menagerie, got to meet Wiggs himself, and they discussed the happenings, and Davis kind of told them that they were here also on a mission for the Unveilers, where Wiggs reminded him, hey, keep it on the download with the Unveiler stuff, but all good. And they discussed. And it came to be apparent that a lot of myth and lore, or maybe, things that were thought of fairy tale, had some more inklings of truth. Most notably, the Hag Mother, which was a local deity in this area long time ago. There was a story that she got banished by an entity known as the Pillar, and when in the banishment, her blood spilled across all these lands, and wherever her blood landed, it warped and twisted the lands, causing it to buckle, and that's why there's so many hills in this area. Turns out that there was some fragments of truth there, as it was uncovered that what was thought to just be a decorative ore, a relatively useless ore that got named Solvi, reacts to what has happened in Greenhill and in the area, and it seems to have has some sort of arcane magical reality warping properties. And that is actually the magic and the secret to how Wiggs was able to create arcane implements and generators and such that allow the River's Maw to now be both a water vessel as well as a flying ship. So, with that revelation that, hey, there actually is something potent, some more discussions were had, and apparently Amy, the Nancy, what's Nancy? I said it wrong. That's the spider god. Jeez, the hill, the giant hag. They have a name. I'm blanking on it right now. She actually informed her kin to go to the hills and start to try to find the Solvi and consume it because they were aware of its actual property, and it was revealed that some of these giants, upon consuming it, because they are creatures of the land, they change. Other than that, it was discussed with the Crass Menagerie of what they were to do, what reconnaissance they can do, and the crew of Julian's ship and Wiggs all agreed to at least take the Crass Menagerie tomorrow in the morning to part of the ruins where they are aware that they can safely traverse. Speaking of the ruins, the most notable feature of the ruins is a giant crater that's covered with earth motes being floating earth. that is also something that the Solvi or the magics reacting within the Solvi, potentially, I think the players kind of uncovered or have the theory that it was due to the wild, chaotic magics of the Titan, the Mad Titan being summoned, kind of activated dormant energies. That is actually what is allowing all this strange phenomena to happen, such as the floating Earth motes. Yeah, so not the best recap because I'm trying to remember everything that was said, but I don't want to like just lore dump again. But if I missed anything important that my players think was part of the lore from last session or that they want to bring up, that's it. Otherwise, players have rested. It's the next day. Davis is still annoyed at Billy. He'll always be. Yeah, and oh yeah, and I guess the one other thing was that what was it? Oh, my blank. Like Wiggs was working through the nights on something. So there was the sounds of tinkering and metal being worked and other things like that within the workstation in the warehouse.
Hey. Yeah, the only thing I can think of though was that we had a bit of a discussion about like different realities and tears and holes and portals, and we think there's.
Yeah, that's true. And Al, do you remember what you kind of figured out?
That damn room with no windows. It was a tower. It was a tower the whole time.
Yeah.
The one that was shaped like a tower turned out to be a tower.
Yeah. The oddly easily overlooked and forgotten structure within a town may have had a magical glamour on it to make people easily forget about it or not pay attention to it. So yes, in their previous ventures over in Green Hill, many sessions ago, my players found, after dealing with a notable villain, a windowless, doorless, small, but still tower, but small tower, which they were able to enter through the subterranean passage. And within there, they found denotations of different symbols and different locations, and it was a little localized teleportation system or so. It looks like the running theory is that the chaotic energies from the Mad Titan's ritual probably caused some tearing and some ripping and some shredding and some Swiss cheesing of the prime materia plane with some other realm or realms or planes. And yeah, that's what my players are going to go try to figure out, I think.
Yep.
So, that being said, good call. Just so the DM can make it clear that this is what we're running with, and this is like things I want you guys to say is this is what we know. So yes, the tower was a tower. It was a mage tower of some sort, or akin to a mage tower. The one thing you have to remember is the teleportation that you guys found there was not like on a grand scale like you did at the Hendekalites, network or nexuses. It was like localized within the area of Green Hill. Yeah, that the Talvi is actually, it seems to be the Hag's blood, the Hag Mother's blood, and that it seems to have become awake or active or more potent, or however you want to look at it, after the ritual. And the River's Maw reacts, is able to fly because of it. However, it cannot traverse too far away, and they've been trying to figure out where the winds of magic or the currents are that they can follow within the sky. The only other thing that I can really think of is that no one really goes into the ruins. There's adventures, like excursions to the outskirts to try to gather resources and try to see what's been changing. And then down over at Green Post, Barb is kind of responsible for doing excursions to gather resources and intel, and it seems like the longest he's been there is about 24 hours at a time.
We're gonna beat it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
So, with that, morning is set. You guys should have all your Nirvana die, your portents. Remember all your group inspirations that you guys gathered with the trip down here. Those are available to you. Remember your spell preps. Let me know when you guys are ready.
ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. All right. So as the morning comes and you guys wake, Ben is usually like Sej, but not as early of a riser as Sej. Ben rises, starts to strap on his equipment because he's taking it literally that we're leaving in the morning. You'll see that. Yeah.
No, just literally, yeah.
Yeah. You'll see that your noses will kind of be awoken to the smells of, everybody loves bacon, so we'll just say bacon, some mushrooms, some, swamp veg, marsh veg. Rex is taking care of the cooking this morning within the warehouse, the tinkering house. And as you guys kind of gather and get your first meal in of the day, Julian will, where about then, you guys are ready for a bit of a adventure? Something weird? Something crazy?
I mean, you know us, of course.
Always.
But I mean, it's alright. I know you've seen some crazy stuff, but we are going somewhere where crazy is kind of natural, so let's be prepared.
I think we'll fit right
As
in.
I believe I need to state this just because you guys think you're all high and powerful. I am the captain. You listen to the captain's orders. If you not listen to the captain's orders, I will kick you off of my boat, and that means, yes, if we are 50,000 feet in the air, yes, I know we are not that high. If we're hundreds of feet up in the air, I will kick you off my boat anyways.
I'll
And
probably.
you are responsible for your landing, not me. Yes?
Aye.
Good.
Got it.
Salute.
Good. And he kind of grins a little bit, it's just being himself. After you guys are kind of eating and kind of wrapping up, you'll notice that Wiggs hasn't necessarily joined y'all. And then you hear the sliding kind of metal door from, where his tinkering space was. And he just kind of starts walking out. He looks tired. He's got like bags under his eyes. His fins are kind of drooping. Morning.
You okay?
More?
Late night. But
Was it?
you'll be happy with the results.
Oh?
Uh-oh. Cooking something up?
Mm-hmm. I'll be happy with the results, which that means you should be happy with the results. He's like all squinty-eyed and so tired.
Okay.
He kind of, if you guys want to, if you are proficient in investigation, you can give me a investigation or a perception check, but you must be proficient in investigation.
Okay.
I think that makes 2 people or something? Oh, that's true, I have a bard too. God
You know,
damn.
Bard, so you roll it.
I'm a little good at everything. Thank you for
Right,
the perspective.
yeah, that's all. Oh, yeah. 30, 31, 20, yeah, woo!
Jesus.
I didn't think for me. You guys notice that, like, where he kind of comes, Wiggs tends to wear, like, an apron, like, heavy workers, tinkering apron and all that. He's not wearing any of that right now. He's actually just in, like, more regular clothing. But all 3 of you notice, because the DC was 20, but hey, that around each wrist, there's like a bangle hanging, like a little metal bangle. And then in the center of his shirt, or whatever you kind of imagine him wearing, there's an actual like a little like a flat, very polished piece of metal that seems to just have like a little bit. You guys kind of can pick about it. You can tell it's like his work. It's something artificey. So.
So you were working your mojo last night, weren't you?
Like, sure, yeah, Mojo. Mm-hmm.
Burning the midnight oil.
The oil was not burned to midnight, but yes, a lot of coffee was consumed. Speaking of which,
I'm
he goes back
I'm gonna
to
shoulder Al and be like, he takes things a little too literally.
gonna so. The only other thing that you guys will notice is when he comes back out, he'll have his little cup of coffee, and then he's carrying like, I'll call it a suitcase. It's not really a suitcase, but like it looks the shape of it, and it has like a glass half dome on it, and inside of it you can see a couple of his critters just kind of swimming around. There's like a crab in there. It's like a little aquarium he's just carrying with him. Kind of brings it out. Okay. So he continues to have breakfast with you guys. Any discussions you guys wish to have? Are you guys ready to take this, guys?
So, what's our plan, guys? I mean, I know we don't always have one, but we need to at least have something to tell Julian where we're going. I mean, do we?
But Julian will interrupt you and say, "Well, you don't have a real choice on where we're going."
Okay.
And he has one of the maps that Jade worked on, and you kind of see the layout. And while on this player's map, you kind of see like I just put stones here. Here, when they get to the crater, it's pretty detailed, and you can kind of see that there's like a lack of detail towards the center. So they kind of like done sort of like the perimeter, and they have some notable marks. And he said, "I'm going to take us down over this way, over this hill," and essentially he's going to like not drop you guys off, but kind of take you down to like the southern portion.
Oh.
There's a large earth moat there. We use it. It's safe. It kind of gives us cover from everything else on the inside. We'll land there, and you guys will be free to depart. And
All right then.
we'll make intervals to come and check in and pick up on you while we continue surveilling and continue letting Jade do her work.
Aye, Cap.
Sounds good. All right. So with that, breakfast consumed. You guys are prepped. You guys can put on all your equipments. It'll take a little bit. And you guys kind of step out of the workshop. Everybody is kind of stepping up to the boat. You get onto the vessel, and shortly after getting onto the vessel, where is my? There's. You'll see that there's that nice feel underweight, where you can kind of feel the Dave, as you pick up on it when you kind of step on the boat, it kind of bows down as the weight of everybody's getting on the boat within the water. The captain, Julian, kind of goes to the wheel. Everyone kind of gets their positions. He turns on this weird kind of arc generator contraction behind him, and you start to see it kind of whistle and hum, and artifice is happening, and then you kind of see the crystalline arcane nodes on the outside of the ship begin to kind of buzz with that same kind of frequency, or the hum kind of matching the generator. A little bit of energy kind of pulsing, and the vessel begins to, you kind of feel it start to lift out of the water. You kind of hear the dripping of the water from the bottom of the ship as it's kind of taking up to the air, and then Rock is right uncomfortably close to Julian, wanting to touch the wheel, and Julian just kind of slaps him away. Not this time.
Davis is actually kind of not necessarily uncomfortably close, but close to, very much observing.
Yeah. So Davis, since you're proficient in both sets of vehicles, but this is close to a water style. So as mentioned previously, it does have additional sets of sails that extend out, kind of similar to what you see on the image. Not quite like wings, but kind of like wings. But really what's doing most of the lifting, or all of the lifting, truly, is the 4 nodes. There is a series of pedals by the wheel, which is what's different. That's typically not what you see on a boat, but that seems to be somehow how he is able to control lift and upward and downward momentum. Other than that, it seems like when if he turns the wheel, the ship, you can kind of see the different ropes and bands kind of turning and shifting, and gears kind of moving around. You can kind of hear them, which is different, but that's what's kind of moving the sails and kind of causing the ship to steer. Pretty easy for you to kind of pick up on it, just because you know how a ship works and you're
Wow.
observing the differences. You're kind of picking up from the differences, essentially.
Cool.
But again, then the ship, it takes a while. It doesn't rise very quickly, but once it gets up, it's kind of comfortable, and then it starts, and you can kind of see once it gets going, it gets to a decent pace, and it starts flying. So, as mentioned, the route that you guys will be taking is essentially, let me draw it. Nice dark blue. So you guys will be leaving the warehouse, kind of going this way, and then he'll send you somewhere here. And I am drawing on the wrong
Yeah,
layer.
I was gonna
Good
say.
job.
You got it. You picked it up first.
Yeah, I saw it. It's like, this is the wrong layer. There you go. I'll try to take you somewhere there.
So how far long across is the crater? I mean, we're talking about like 15-mile type thing or something like that, or like?
No. It's not that massively huge,
Okay,
right? It's
like a
the
couple,
city, whatever the city proper was,
okay,
which was,
couple miles
and
maybe.
yeah, like it was like Green Hill was notoriously kind of compact and built up upon itself in like a weird kind of
Yeah, I
you
got you.
know construction pattern. But let me see if I might have the original size. Let me see if I have that still somewhere. Cities of Cled, Green
Yeah,
Hill.
if I recall correctly, just because we here in Houston have a frame of reference, if I recall correctly, I think the loop is 5 miles on a side,
Yeah,
and
something
then the
like that.
beltway is like 10 miles on a side or something like that.
Yeah, I would
And
say it's
Houston's
loopish.
big, so it's I was gonna say
Uh,
loop would still be really big, I think.
yeah, like, but that's because it's beyond the city, right? Like areas beyond the city or beyond Green Hill were also destroyed.
Oh, okay.
So, um, yeah, I would say, I probably have it somewhere in my notes, travel time in here, but
Single
I mean, it was a
digits.
population of 4,000. Yeah, it was a population of 4,400 people regular. So, it was a township. It wasn't something massive. Let me just check because I should have actually maybe prepared on that. Let me see. Tracker, travel, trackers. Let's see. Do I have walking across Green Hill? Now I have Green Hill to Deep Route with 60 hours. um,
60 hours?
yeah.
Damn. I don't remember it being that long, but we kind of buzzed through
Well,
it,
yeah.
so.
You guys went on a boat, so cut it
True,
down.
true.
So. Yeah, I mean, Green. Yeah, so what? Like Whitlaw. What's our Whitlaw? Whitlaw's massive, so I can't even use that as a comparison. Like Whitlaw will take you all day to walk across, just
Right.
because of how condensed and the layout. Green Hill is probably the crater. I would say is at most 3 miles, like
Yeah.
the
Like in
across.
diameter, yeah.
Like I actually, but that's still a lot of space when you consider
Yeah.
the uncharted territories essentially. So yeah, as you guys are starting to kind of get closer and closer, the earth motes are starting to come more and more clear into view. We'll go ahead and go over to the more appropriate. I don't think that changed you guys ever. Nope, it didn't change me. Didn't change you. There we go. So much of what you see is that interesting landscape where, approaching from an altitude that you have, the earth motes are kind of on, still above you, below you, and kind of in front of you because you're approaching. There is this forever kind of set of clouds. It seems like it's moisture that gets trapped underneath the earth motes and then condenses and kind of creates like this second layer of clouds, or like almost like fog. So it's kind of hard to see what's inside of the crater itself.
Is there
Uh,
is there like natural fauna around? Like, is there birds? Do you see any?
Yeah. So the whole time as you're kind of Davis, if you're gonna keep an eye out for it, you'll notice that there's you got your heron birds, you got your different types of ones that you would associate with the marshes. You have birds that are seen to flying through the sky. There's plenty of life still in the area. That's what you're asking. When you start approaching the crater, yeah, you'll see like as you guys kind of start, the ship kind of comes in, and it makes this. It's not completely silent as it travels. It kind of has this little buzz, like the buzz that you can kind of tune out very easily. But realize that does mean that it makes some sort of noise while you're traveling. And as you guys are kind of approaching, and it's kind of creaking as well, as like the different gears are turning, the different pulleys and levers are kind of causing the sails to move. It does make some sound, and like birds from the earth motes will notice you and just kind of flock away and kind of flutter away and land somewhere else. Some earth motes are small. Some earth motes are a basketball in size. Others are multiple what's a good experience? Like a city block or two, right? If we're going to use like modern measurements. Some earth motes are large.
Yeah.
Some ones are smaller, and they're scattered through. And it just seems like whatever was there was taken with it. And a lot of ones that you can, on the outskirts, you see a few that might have some structures. Most of the structures that were taken with it were torn or ripped or twisted just because of the force of them moving.
Yeah.
And as you guys are kind of approaching, something you'll notice is that the earth motes don't really, and you asked this previously, but they don't really have like an orbit, or they don't really move. They don't really shift or bob. There's some slight swaying if you are to like actually stare at it for a long time and see that they do kind of move just a little bit. But for the most part, they appear to be more or less fixed structures. Or I should say instead of structures, fixed landmarks. And you'll see as the ship is approaching this one large one. It's one of the bigger ones that you've seen. It does actually, based on how the sun is, it does start to kind of cast a shadow. And as you guys are flying, you're flying into the shadow of it. And then Julian says, "Okay, so this is going to be the fun part. Hold on to your butts." And you kind of feel this. He kind of grins, and you feel like the ship as it's kind of approaching the would be the kind of like the face of this earth mote, kind of like where you come maybe kind of to the side of it. All of a sudden, you just kind of feel like the sense of like you're like on a swing, and you're kind of getting swung in this forward momentum, and your balance and your gravity starts to kind of shift and change, and you're approaching. Going forward, all of a sudden the ship kind of lifts up and its belly is flying towards it, and then all of a sudden it just feels like you're going normal. And it's like you look down and around, and behind you, if you were to keep your original trajectory, it's like you're now vertical.
Oh wow.
And now you're seeing those of you that have an intelligence. This is a weird one. It's not truly Arcana. I don't do this. Actually, we can do that. We can do the Arcana. If you're proficient in Arcana or Nature, you guys can roll me a check. David, kind of weird boat stuff. You can roll me I'm not an innovator. Seafarer. Roll a boat check. Let's see if you can. Yours is DC is way higher. So let's see if maybe you can figure something out.
Did you say I could?
Cielo, what the hell?
Yeah. So Arcana, Nature, or for Davis, you can do a
Water
seafaring.
vehicles.
Water vehicle, that's what it's called.
Cielo and I got the same result. He rolled a 2, I rolled a 20.
I mean, to be fair, his 2 became a 10, but yes.
Woo.
Yeah. Well, still, all right. So we got a natural 20 for 23. Yeah, Davis, this is weird. You're not really sure what's going on.
Well, yeah, at this point, so I like, he said, hold on to your butts. I looked for some nearby rigging, like basically wrapped my forearm in some rigging and grabbed rock because I'm sure he's like just slack-jawed staring at whatever Julian's doing.
Can I say Loon Loon had a little trouble, like a dog in a back seat? She kind of can't get quite, the padding doesn't quite help. I try and grab her like over here, and then I'm kind of lurching too. She should be used to it. She's not good at walking.
I mean, it is different.
Wait, no, hey, for this, real quick, give me a wisdom check for Loon Loon. 10 or higher, she'll adjust normally. Sorry, 11 or higher, yeah. So high, she adjusts normally. Low, it's got to be funny.
Oh yeah. So should I go saving throw or ability check? Same
Uh,
thing.
saving throw, wisdom save. Yeah. It
Oh,
should be
let's
the same.
go!
Woo! She's a
Like,
natural.
yeah, like she's like, and she doesn't adjust that. Like, oh, that's cute. Okay, yeah. So you kind of go to reach her, and she's the one that helps you kind of stay on the boat and puts her wing around you, just kind of. Yeah.
I start
No, so
falling when I reach for her. She saves me. Yeah.
yeah. So Al, because of natural 20, and Cielo, you rolled well as well. Yeah. You guys are familiar with the concept of gravity. You know, it's it's not as scientifically explored in materia as it is, but the idea of gravity, everyone knows. Things fall. Looks like these things have their own little pockets of gravity, maybe. Al, because you rolled a natural 20. Yeah. Solving warps reality in some aspect, right? That's magic is warping reality in a sense, right? Or causing reality to change. It looks like on top of making these motes, these chunks of earth float, they also kind of have like a bubble around them where they are like the center, like a little world. So everywhere is, you can walk all the way like 360 degrees and you can like stand upside down and you won't fall off of it, if that makes sense. So like from normal perspective, you could be on the bottom of it, but you'd be standing upside down on it. But for you on there, it's like, nope, I'm just right here. So it's like this little, there's a little rim, like an area, and you can kind of imagine like the larger the Earth mount, the larger its like gravitational bubble would be.
Yeah.
So smaller ones have very small, big ones have bigger. So there is no like real up or down on these things. It's all based on your like if you're on there or not on there. If that kind of makes sense.
So, and I was like, Julian, did one of your pedals do this? What's going on here? This doesn't. What?
It's one of the weird things. Here, my mate. Man. The bigger they are, the more they pull. And welcome to this perspective, I guess.
Julian. Julian. How many times did you mess this up before you could get it right? What the hell?
Oh, it was first time was a charm, and I had no idea, and we almost all died.
I look at Loon Loon, nudge her. I guess there are some naturals out there. Okay.
Yeah,
I'd have some trouble with this.
we were just kind of sitting there wagging her tail. She had fun. She's like, "Ooh, that was cool."
So,
I will say, Cielo, because you did a nature check. I want to point out. So Cielo, well, you'll notice something that the image here is not the best because I couldn't find anything. Because like here you can kind of see where there's obviously a vegetative side and then more like a side that came from out of the earth, right? Like you can kind of see like a stone side. Or it's kind of like the vegetation has just kind of grown all around it. So it's like the way that the little biome on each of these earth modes works is it's almost like the same. They kind of all represent the same kind of gravitational limiter or the gravitational bubble. So everything is just kind of the same. So again, even the plants on here don't realize that they're upside down or facing to the left or facing to the right.
is this only on the boat here? Like,
No. If you approach any of these things, it'll kind of just pull you into the facing, I guess.
me, the player, wants to Super Mario Galaxy the shit out of this, but obviously that's not realistic.
I mean, you might be able to. That's pretty fitting since SGBQ is coming up this weekend.
Hey.
Yeah, so
Are we? Wait, is this our stop?
this is our safe space, yes. So
This is the same. Wow. Okay. I mean, I guess we're not. Yeah, I guess it's safe. This. Wow.
No,
This is weird.
I will, no, I will still take you down, but this is where we land,
Okay.
and then we make sure the area is clean, and then we will go down, and I assume you want to be ground level?
I guess I'll look at like Al and Rock
Do you want
because I would assume they have
traverse?
the most.
At the mention of ground level, I'm kind of pointing in different directions with an inquisitive face, like the Earth mode. Like,
Fair point. I can leave you either on an Earth moat and you can traverse, and it is actually quite to leave one of these. You just essentially work your way towards another one and leap. And then if you leap well enough, you'll get pulled into the next one's
And if you
bubble.
don't,
I mean, it's splishy splashy. We have climbing.
bullshit.
No, we have climbing equipment. We got it prepared.
I pat Loon Loon. You got my back, right? You got my back for this, right?
Lulu just kind of nuzzles up to you,
Okay.
spread the wing,
Lunan?
puts it back in.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got a safety net. We'll make it across.
Ben will chime in saying like, I can help not fall too.
Hey.
Alright.
Same
So-
here, at least. You know, one or two.
Hey. Okay, we got options. My confidence is rising. Al's not hiding it at all. So we're at an angle, right, with the boat, or relative to.
So again, for your perspectives, right? You guys are upright straight. But if you look kind of beyond, it would be almost like you are landing on like the face. So you guys are quite literally,
Like 90 degrees.
yeah, 90
Yeah, like
degrees.
the horizon line
Okay.
off in the distance, yeah, is like 90 degrees.
Yes.
Yeah,
Then
exactly. Yeah.
Al's not doing a good job of hiding it. He'll keep trying to look straight up, which is
Yeah, turning her head.
very-
Yeah, super weird.
and he'll just keep like darting his eyes back down, like, oh god, oh god.
Right, maybe I can do this. Wait, let me see. Can I do this in here? Layer.
Guys, I don't know
You guys
about
keep talking.
24 hours.
Whew. So just not used to this, but
This does seem like some super Marb shit, though. Like, I can see how he would last here 24 hours.
mm,
No, that's the wrong way.
I mean, he was always up in trees and stuff. Like, I don't think he cared which way was down.
mm-hmm.
Oh
Probably sleep in
boy.
those trees too.
No, I can't get it. Like, I'm trying to see if I can rotate it, but it's not that easy to grab and rotate. Oh, there you go.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh gosh.
That is your horizon.
Woo!
I'm gonna.
We can't like I'll point. We can't like fall up, right? It's only gonna be towards the this or that, pointing to the
Yeah,
moon and the water.
Yeah. And then Wiggs will kind of say, no. So look at it as like it's got a bubble, right? You got to kind of burst that bubble before you start falling normally. So the bigger they are, the bigger the bubble. However, what Julian's not telling you because he's just wants to see your reactions is we've been working on putting ropes and chains and ways to navigate. So it's not quite bridges because you have to kind of adjust. Look at it more like I like to look at them as a thing called a zip line, essentially. Kind of weird getting a start, but once you get it, it's pretty cool. This is the reason why we know this one is because this is the one where we landed and we've set up multiple tendrils or ropes out, and you can start navigating. Part of our project is to make it so that we can safely navigate and go further. So, and it's
Okay.
part of it. So, anywho, but yes, so when he says you can go splish splash, he's quite literally saying that if you miss the jump, you'll fall, but then if you don't jump, you're going to take the ropes.
Oh. That's
Skyrim.
better.
So,
Should know some stuff to help out, but sounds like something I'll just have to try and get used to. Okay.
yeah. Now, this one is known as the safe one because we haven't really encountered anything here other than local avian life and some insects. They seem to enjoy these places. They're out of reach of most predators. And once you get beyond and get, further, you guys can take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
Careful.
Mostly.
So, and then you'll see up at Dory. I'll be at least coming with you for part of this because I need to keep do some maintenance on some of our ropes, our bridges, if you will.
It seems like something your apprentice should have to do, but you know.
No, he's going to be taking care of the boat while I'm gone.
That's
Oh,
right
he's
too.
very good.
Eh.
So yes, gather your things. I'll be disembarking with you.
I would think the moment Julian's, or a few moments after Julian's off the helm, I think Rock would sneak over and just like put a finger on the wheel
I very much
and,
believe that.
and then walk away.
Yeah, and you kind of hear his like nail scratch the wheel a little bit because he doesn't want to leave it, but he's like walks away. Yeah, so when right before Wiggs gets going with you guys, he takes this little case that he has, and then he looks and you'll see he kind of taps his chest, and of course it's pretty obvious you guys figured it out. The metal begins to kind of band out, and the bangles begin to spread some like metal bands around him. And yes, Wiggs is essentially Iron Man, so have fun with it. So you know what type of artificer
Wait,
he
no,
is
it's
now.
Claus. What's up?
There he is.
Armor. But what's cool about him, this is what I like to do, like the little visual that I have, is that the helmet is like, a proper helmet, but it's almost kind of like a fishbowl.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got like pipes with little water, because he still likes his water. He likes to breathe.
Yes. Roll 1 is comfort. Good man. Good man.
Yeah. Like, it's like super comfortable, but otherwise looks badass. So, yeah, and he just kind of leaps off the ship, carrying his little suitcase. He's like, "We coming? We're going?"
Jeez,
I'm gonna look
man.
at Davis, point to Wiggs, like, you seeing this shit?
Seeing is not always believing. But yes, I see it.
I think we're as ready as we can be. Give it a try.
Let's go.
All right. So you guys debark off the ship, and you guys are beginning to traverse. And Wiggs is going to lead you through this terrain. Traversing it's not too difficult. Okay. Traversing is not too difficult because there seems to be like a regular spot that they landed. So there is some like walk down paths to an extent, like not super, but walk. So you kind of can see where you guys are going to go. Following Wiggs' lead. I am going to rotate this just because it
gives you a little bit of a headache.
Yeah.
I forgot
My
to roll
perspective,
my extra max HP because of my bear's endurance totem, so I'm doing that now.
Oh, okay. Go for it. My keyboard's off.
Let's go. 15 HP. Let's go.
Nice. Okay, cool. So, as you guys are kind of traversing, he will kind of take you to the edge of one of the motor. To one of the motors, the moats, excuse me. And you'll see that there is a banded, like a braided metal rope that goes down at an angle from, if you were to like look at it at normal perspective now, right? So it kind of goes, if you're looking at it from like the moat perspective, it goes up in the sky and then connects somehow to like another moat. But normal perspective is like it's kind of that. And Wiggs will kind of tell you, well, so he kind of opens up his case. He kind of hands you these essentially armbands that you can kind of loop over the cord, and it is essentially like a zip line. And he'll tell you, so pull to go on the right, pull the left to stop. And then he basically just kind of slips it on there. You see it kind of grabs onto the rope, and then he just leaps. And as he leaps, you just kind of see him kind of like leap up, and then all of a sudden, like gravity kind of changes, and he starts falling. But he's falling along the line and then he makes it to another moat, and then as you just see his body kind of switch and land on that, he starts waving to you guys. So yes, you guys get to zip line around here.
Yeah, he makes it look pretty easy. I shouldn't be that hard. Whenever it's Al's turn, he takes way too long, like prepping, checking stuff. He's like, "Is this like this? Triple check this. Okay, yeah, okay."
Carlos be like, "Do you need me to like hold any of your packs while you slide?" Just worried about, grip strength and everything like that.
No, the zip lines got me right. If I then he'll let go. That's uncomfortable. But no, the gear is fine. I just need a second.
Sure.
You just like deep breaths, and then he'll finally go for it eventually.
Okay. Wow. This is your first time doing it.
Try to move.
Yeah, Geronimo. So you leap, you grab it, you're holding it. You feel like all of a sudden, like your center of gravity kind of shifts as you're back out of the bubble and into like normal space. So you're weight kind of this, so you have to hold on. Go ahead and roll me a athletics check. Just don't roll a 1, please.
Yeah, a dex check. What was that?
Athletics.
Athletics check to hold on.
Oh shit.
Don't trip on your shoestrings.
There you go.
Standard 11.
11. Yeah, you're good. So you kind of like, and
What?
you instinctively like pull on the left to kind of hit the brake a little bit, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'm good. You let go
Okay.
a little bit to the left, and then you just start going along, and then all of a sudden you feel your like weight just kind of shift again. Now I need an acrobatics check to see if
Ooh.
you land.
Don't make it look so easy, Al.
He's gritting his teeth. He's not like. There's no like. Wahoo! He just.
Oh shit!
14,
Because you're
18
literally,
acrobatics.
you're literally at free fall at one point. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Glad the hook wraps all the way around, right?
yeah,
Right.
yeah. It completely encases the rope. Like
Ooh.
the cord, and he's got a device where you latch it, and it latches on, and then you're just holding it. Yeah, you're fine. So, and you go there, and you land. Okay.
It's a minute until Al can stand up straight. He's kind of kneeling, like,
Yeah.
The second half was not as. It was still just as hard as the first transition. I don't.
Yeah, it's weird. So that was Al. So all of you have your own individual one, and so what it kind of gives it, and it's
Are they?
the device that latches on. It also has, I forgot to mention, it has like a safety cord. So like it's attached to the rope, and there's a cord that kind of wraps around your waist. So if you were to let go, hopefully it just kind of catches you. But then you have to grab it again. So
Are the two ends of the zip line within earshot?
within your shot. Yeah,
Can we
sure.
yell at each
I
other?
mean, yeah. You guys can yell for sure.
Okay. I'll eventually like from like a half crouch position, like face towards him, give a thumbs up. Water's fine.
Sure.
Come on in.
Okay, I think I figured this out. It's about the speed, and then I'll just like take a running go at it.
Oh, okay. All right, so go ahead,
Slow, out
David.
of the
Give me
way.
that athletics check again, just to.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, nice. Yeah, so Davis with a lot more speed, just do, and he just leaps, jumps, and you just hear like it starts riding along the cable, and then Davis, you feel that shift.
Oh,
Now you're
God.
like in that free
I'm in
state.
good. Yep, that's I expected that.
And then you start getting into the other mode's little bubble. Go ahead and give me an athletics check now to see how your landing is.
Acrobatics, you mean?
Yeah, sorry, acrobatics. Sorry, yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Oh, easy.
Oh no, okay. So Davis, when you get there, you're like ready, and you land, but then you buckle your knees and you fall prone. You're like,
Oh,
oh,
fuck. Ugh.
ugh.
I mean, I had
The
aimed
second.
where down would have been, but that's not what was. Fuck.
Dude, you were flying though. That was awesome. The zip line makes a different sound when you go in that speed.
I'll be honest, I just wanted to be on that thing last time.
That's a good idea. But no, yeah, the second half, it's worse than the first, right?
Oh, God,
Shoot.
yes.
Think you're home free, and then
And then everything changes.
you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Oh,
First
man.
time we're survived. Now we get to look at everybody else. This is the fun part.
It's
All
true.
right, now who next wants to try?
How far is it between?
Cars. It's
Oh my god.
yeah,
Jesus.
like literally, I forgot. You could probably just jump this. This one is
What
large.
speed?
Yeah, like 80 feet. You know.
Okay, okay. No. Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't say it's worth a fly, but I was like, if these are only like 30 feet apart before the transition between the bubbles, then I could
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
That's
Like
true. You're pretty smart. You
it
can
is
figure
a
out where
thing.
that cusp is, I bet, because you've seen how we like shift.
You can if you want to. You can do an intelligence check if you want, just to see if you have like you can give yourself advantage on one of the checks. That's fine. I don't mind.
My god, yeah. Just like how like throwing a ball is just kind of instinct. Your brain kind of it just happens with enough practice.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
got that with like, oh yeah, but that distance,
Yeah.
they kind of flipped at those points.
Yeah, so Carlos, if you want to, you can do the intelligence check. Otherwise, just go ahead and give me athletics to leave, and then acrobatics to land.
All right.
Athletics to leave orbit, please.
I'll do it. I'll do an intelligence roll just to see if I can eyeball where I think that because it's mainly landing.
Wow, that's
You have an
your
idea.
virtual dice was cocked on my screen. It's super
Yeah,
weird.
I thought too.
Cock
You
dice reroll.
You have idea of the zone. You don't exactly know, like not enough to give you advantage or anything, but you're fairly confident. You
Okay.
know,
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and.
athletics to leave and acrobatics to land.
I will prepare to. I'm guessing he's gonna be fine, but I will prepare for a rough landing from him to try and like help break his fall or anything.
Yeah, so similar to Davis, you're gonna follow his lead, and you're just gonna go faster. And you hear that sound, and then Carlos, you feel it as your gravity kind of shifts, and
As
then
soon
you
as
go.
as soon as I feel the gravity shift, I'm gonna hold my breath and cast the
Oh,
feather
wow.
fall just to be
Nice.
safe.
Yeah, use your armor. Fighter.
What's he doing?
All right,
How's he
go
doing
ahead.
that?
Go ahead and give me a athletics, and you know what? I will give you advantage because you're holding your breath. In that
Acrobatics,
case.
you mean?
Acrobatics. Keep missing it. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Athletics, acrobatics. You know.
Hey, nice.
Yeah. So you land, but like when you land, you have to like keep running for a moment. You're like, oh god, and then you kind of stop. You're like, oh,
Whew.
and you breathe, and you feel your weight kind of return to you. Like, okay, not bad. Right. We still got Rock. We got Cielo. We got Ben.
I'm
Ben.
just gonna go for it.
Yeah, Ben will cast guidance on Cielo.
Okay.
Real quick, can I say Loon's been at the first part sitting with the group that hadn't gone yet, and she's
Yeah.
just kind of keeping a lookout. She's gonna attempt
Yeah.
to play lifeguard.
Yeah. So Al, as you're like looking up at Lulu, and you see her just sitting there. So she's just like sitting, vertically having a blast, just kind of watching everybody, and you guys are like underneath her, kind of like on a different angle. So it's very weird looking. Like you're looking up and to the side. You're looking, what is going on?
Huh.
So, but yeah, next person, whoever wants to try, it'd be athletics to
Me.
lead, acrobatics to land. All right,
What was it?
athletics to leave, acrobatics to land. Cielo, nice, yeah. No one's rolled low enough to fail the departure. Oh, Cielo's like a pro. You kind of like leave, and you're not going nearly as fast as the other two were, but then you kind of feel the shift. You just kind of adjust quickly, and then you just let go of the rope early and just kind of sail down, and you just kind of tiptoe, landing smoothly. No struggles there. Unlatch yourself. And for the sake of nobody doing anything with Ben and Brock, we'll just say that they follow.
Yeah.
Unless if somebody wants
Ben was
to,
staying behind to just do guidance if he wanted.
Yeah. So.
Also, your camera maybe died. I don't know.
Yeah, it's that's weird. It died in Foundry.
Works for me.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, refresh your Foundry maybe. Yeah, so Ben's just there to basically do guidance. There we go.
Cool. Yeah, and then so we'll just say just so that everyone else makes it across. I just wanted to give you guys a feel. So as you guys land, now with a new perspective, Lulun leaps, and she just kind of like swirls through the air and just starts flying, falling, and then lands again,
So
having
beautiful.
fun. Lulun's got this. Her natural 20 is all about it.
Oh, you gotta spiral it. Okay, she's got something figured out. Okay, okay.
Yeah, this is like her new favorite environment.
Girl, you're making it look easy.
Yeah, she like looks at you and then runs and leaps up again, starts flying, leaving this one and starts flying sideways to your perspective because she's back in normal gravity, and then stops flapping and starts falling backwards. She's having fun now. She's figured it out.
Huh. Yeah, next time we're working together, I'm gonna probably throw up if you're doing that while we're flying around. But thank you, good job. You're doing amazing.
You gave her the natural 20, so that's why she's got those.
Oh,
She's like, I got this. This is easy.
see if I
All
get a
right.
20 on my next con save.
So
Hold my stomach.
Wiggs will say, all right, so I'm going to go over, and he's got a points in a direction. We'll just say east from y'all's perspective. I'm gonna go there. There's a rope that I need to attend to, make sure it's all working. If you wish, you can follow me and you can go down, and that will take you down to another earth moat that is right above the crater. Or you guys can travel about 5 or 10 minutes to, again, we'll say west, and there'll be another one that leads you down to another moat. Your choice. But
I mean,
I'm here to do maintenance.
again, I'll look at Alan Rock and be like, "You guys are the most in tune with this stuff. You should. I guess you can figure out where we're going."
Hmm.
And Ben will say, "Is like I can ask Beacon where to go, or where go."
Might have to. This one's gonna try and trace. Phew. My first guess is deeper towards the middle. Hmm. But oof. Trying to
Okay.
find that middle or try and stay on point on target is don't lose our way, you know? Hmm.
Right.
If there's a way to detect that, or should we just follow cardinal? I don't even know the cardinal directions. Give me a minute. Al trying to find the sun or the
Yeah.
sky.
I
It's
mean,
like,
when the sun is underneath your feet, it's weird.
Currently, yeah.
It's
I'm
what does north mean?
I may be a little disoriented right now, not gonna lie.
You want to spend a lucky out?
I like that
Or
idea.
do you want to let Ben do his commune or whatever?
Yeah,
It's up to you
it
guys.
would be commune.
We can start with that. With the commune. Al's
Okay.
gonna like lick his finger, put it up in the air, and try and figure out like that's worth
As
nothing.
soon
But
as
he's just gonna be
as
like,
soon as you do that, Ben will just start doing it.
hmm,
Like, oh,
Okay.
that's what we're working with. Fine.
Gotcha. All right. So what's the commune gonna ask?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
So we get
Squidlin for help.
3 questions, right? And they're all
Yeah.
like
Yes, no, short phrases,
right.
unclear.
Yeah,
Yep.
The first question is, how are you today?
yeah. Hey, girl.
Hey,
How you doing?
I deeply appreciate that. That's why Saj has such a good bond with Surya.
Oh, Surya.
Oh, Surya, how you doing
How
today?
you so beautiful and warm all the time? Um, yeah, so I'll just open it up to the group a little bit. So yeah, the first thing would be like, because we don't want to just be like, hey, where do we go? We want to say like, should we descend to the closer to the ground to reach to look for, because our whole goal is to essentially like try and find something that might explain this consistent like change in nature of the area, right? Like we think there's a tear or something.
hmm
Mhm.
So, I'm trying to wordsmith on the fly how to do this in a good way.
You
And
can
also,
say it in celestial, so it makes sense. Like I get it. You
well,
don't
yeah,
have to speak it.
yeah, I'm not gonna do the Ben thing
Yeah.
for that. I'm also, if anybody has got any other ideas for questions, because we got 3 of them that a deity might know. Well, actually, I guess so. One of the questions could be just like, is the Mad Titan like influence corrupting this area currently, or something like that? Does that sound? Is there any variation on that we should make? Okay, let me make a note.
Yeah.
So maybe we lead with that, and then say, maybe even just ask, is there an origin point we could seal to stop that? So if we get like a positive answer on that, then we can ask, like, is there an origin point we can like seal to stop the corruption? If
Okay.
that, I'm still asking the group too.
I'm looking the direction so far. Nothing better comes to mind yet.
Yeah. So
It's
first,
conditional based on yeah.
yeah. So first we'll be like, is the Mad Titan's influence corrupting? If it's yes, then is there an origin point we can seal? And then I can start asking like, is this origin point like located in this like near the center of this crater, or like where within this crater should we seek out the origin point, or what should we look for when seeking out this origin point? Something like that. That's what I'll say.
Okay. So what should we seek to find the origin point?
Yeah, something like that. So we'll go in order. First question would be, is the Mad Titan's influence corrupting this area currently?
So as Ben kind of focuses and does that, as you mentioned, like the sun is below you guys. And as he's kind of focusing and trying to get a feel for it, uh, his uh, his shield, as it kind of has that constant, if you remember, has kind of like that astral play and kind of a dust kind of thing.
Right.
It kind of starts to flow and kind of coalesce and kind of give him like a mini sun in a going off influence on an artifact that was, in her possession. And essentially gets the sense that as it like rises and then the sun will get kind of set back into the sun, or back into the shield, that his influence is throughout
Its influence is what?
throughout the crater.
Oh, okay. So a pretty, not an emphatic yes, but like a definitive yes.
Yeah, like this is because of his lingering presence. Yeah,
Okay.
Got it.
that was the rising of the sun.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Yeah, the second question would be basically, yeah, is there some sort of origin point or tear that we can seal to prevent this from continuing?
Okay, the projection from the shield goes up, and you see like the sun come up, and then it bursts into about a dozen or so specks, indicating that there's
many, probably.
yeah, good. Okay, you read it. Yes, there are many little tears.
Shit.
So yeah, Ben will relay that many tears, all over crater. And then back in Celestial, how can we find these? Are there any telltale signs or things to look for when looking for these tears or points?
The little specks all kind of coalesce onto a side of the projection, and you see, it almost shows like a shooting star, and then you see another smaller. Sorry, you see a shooting star, and then you see like another shooting star kind of following it. If you want to do a religion check with Ben to interpret that one, I can help out.
Sure. Oh, it was a 20 for a fucking second. God damn it. 22 into a 2 for a 6 total.
6 total. It's a little abstract, kind of hard for him to understand, but it looks like something is following something.
Yeah, that's exactly the words he'll say. Something following something, and then he'll
You get right.
yep, and then he'll retrieve his shield and get up a little bit dejected.
Yeah. Their answers are emphatic, not emphatic, but yes, because of the Mad Titan lingering present.
Many
Which
points.
I think the many points. Um, many points.
And then
How? I'm trying to think if anyone can do a check for that. But yeah, the many points for now.
we
And
have a cleric. We have another cleric.
yeah, trying to think more like local knowledge. So if you were in Green Hill when it was Green Hill, so unfortunately not Bend and not Yellow. And you can give me a history check. The many points might be answered or might help. You don't have to be proficient, but this is a history check for anyone that was here before the ruins.
I'm dumb.
Well, that's the fun part about having a character that's good at everything.
Dirty 20.
Great point. Okay.
Nice. Hey, nice.
Dirty 20.
Similar.
The
Wow.
dirtier 20 even.
Oh, the two dirty
Oh,
20s.
my.
So both of you kind of come to this thought. Al, you've been thinking
Rock should
about.
roll too. Somebody should roll for Rock.
Are you rolling for it? Oh no,
I
you're
can
not.
I can do it.
Yeah.
History.
Because his
Oh,
history
he's
is
good at this.
pretty good. Yeah. There we
How
go.
about 30-30?
Uh,
Showing us up.
yeah. Well, it's good that you guys remembered because now you get a more definitive answer.
Thank
So
you.
Al and Cars would be kind of focusing on, thinking on what that could mean. Al, Cars, you kind of get hung up on something, and Rock will just kind of say many. Like, Al, you've been thinking about the chat. There were many. This is bad. Um, there were many places the tower went, right, Al? What if each location
Oh,
is a pair?
I was on mute. Sorry.
You're good.
Yeah. Oh,
What if
I kind of glanced at Davis and Ben. Oh, we should have asked how many tears there were.
I mean, Ben could probably recall how many specs there were. He was very much in the thing.
Was it around 8-ish?
about a dozen?
There you go.
Uh,
More like dozen.
oh. Think did I even share the tower thing with the group?
I don't remember.
I don't know if I did. I had a Eureka moment late at night. Did I share in the morning? I think I shared in the morning. And then we cut the session.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, you
Makes
said
sense.
so.
Okay. Remember that I remember the tower and now all the teleportation stuff?
I remember that you remember that you remember.
Teleporting. I remember that I remember that you remember. Thank you. I'm glad you remembered that I remembered it.
Do you remember when I remember that you remember that you remember?
I did not. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, remember next time.
I'll try. I'll try to remember that.
I'll remember.
I just said I'm glad I'm sitting down already. Okay. The thing with the tower in town with all the teleportation stuff, and we talked about that for a little bit, but teleportation tends to, you know, render some rifts between between two planes to make a shortcut. Um, is the number about a dozen? I think there's like some 8 to 12 teleportation spots in that tower. I think those might be related to what we're trying to look for. So even if the tower's, say, in a center, maybe that's one, and maybe each of the destinations are another. But I don't know how we map that because we might have taken one or two of those spots. I don't know quite how we map that onto this, and I'll just gesture broadly. in the wrong direction first, and then I'll turn what I think is towards the middle of the moats and gesture again. Th- th- this
And
time.
Skello walks up to you and just kind of turns you. As a,
He's,
that way.
he's I imagine he hops on my shoulder and just turns my head.
That's amazing.
And then points your head down a little bit. That way. It's like all over.
Down towards the sun, you know.
We're dealing in 3 dimensions again. Oh boy. Thank you. There-ish.
Yeah.
But
But Rock will say, well, because of what you said, he rolled a 30.
mhm.
I think,
Oh.
yeah. We're still new to the whole jumping around everywhere with teleportation, but if his presence makes things go weird, it could be that those pairs are, well, someplace that they weren't originally looking, right?
Or
So,
yours.
yeah, I think we're in for a bit of a headache. Fun.
Way ahead of you.
Hmm. Well, uh, I guess I should, I'm ready. Whenever.
Huh. Hey, and then I'm actually gonna pull Al aside, like, and quietly be like, "Wait a minute. If teleportation causes tears, like, are we messing up the Crown of Stars? The folks in the Crown of Stars, the lizard folk there? I don't want to be messing up there where they live. That's not cool."
That, oof, no, that's not cool. I probably need to do some more research, some more studying. I always assumed, like when I open the little door and I hop through and it's just like an eyesight here, there, dimension door. I figured it always just sealed right back up. It's small, it's quick, it just
Davis
the
just
rift
flat out interrupts you at this
heals.
moment. He just goes, "Wait a minute," and then you see him pull out his weapon, summon his weapon. He's like, "This fucking thing does tears too."
Uh-oh.
Wait,
I was gonna
can we use that?
I, I was gonna lean in and stare at the space where Davis summoned it as if he could see something and just kind of leer. Hmm.
Uh,
I don't know.
and as you guys are kind of staring, off. Can I get perception checks for everybody? Al and Davis at disadvantage,
Nice.
and Pebble can also be part of the check, and Luna can also be part of the check.
Did I rolled for me? Okay. Okay, Lunlin can. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can Ben guide himself? Or would it be more passive?
No, this will be kind of at the moment, like,
Gotcha.
yeah. But that was weird. Okay. Wow, all of you did well.
Yeah, I rolled a disadvantage and beat Ben at a normal roll.
Yeah.
Lunlin
So,
tilts down her glasses and takes a quick, deeper look.
so as you guys are kind of in a little like discussion, there you see for a moment, you hear it. You hear um this sound of like, how do I want to say it? Like uh scraping and ripping on off to a distance. Like you hear like ground being rustled and torn and kind of messed with in a sense. And it's off to the distance. You guys all kind of look, and when you look, you guys are looking again kind of up, and which in reality is actually down. That's weird, right? You're looking down towards the ground if it was actually the world, and you see from like not a moat, but kind of like this bent and buckled part of Earth. You see this like kite or something. It looks like this small flying kite, maybe like fabric, like that gives someone wings, and they're just darting, and they're like going fast through the air, and they're gliding really, really quickly. This kite or something, and then you hear this breaking and crushing of like wood and stone below it, and you see this massive entity just leap after it, and you see it has like multiple eyes. It has large tendrils kind of coming from what you think is its mouth as it's kind of passing through the sky and lands as it's chasing this figure, this little thing, this kite kind of sailing through the sky.
No predators, huh?
Yeah,
Predators.
this is down below. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get something to work out.
Strange phrasing for a question.
Yeah.
I'm curious
That's
about
it. We have to kill Davis.
You and your damn tiny riffs.
You can try.
You're out of the group. You're banned. Turn in your dog tag.
I can't turn in my weapon. Fuck.
Uh, weird, strangely phrased question for the creature. I'm curious about its symmetry. Is it, you know, symmetry? Does it have two side symmetry, like
Bilaterally symmetric.
bilateral? Thank you. Like a dragon or a human, or is it radial like a worm?
Bilaterally symmetric.
Okay.
Or less.
I heard mouth and tendrils, and I was like, I'm picturing radial.
Yeah. So, give me a second. I was getting something set up.
You're
Fair
good.
enough. I'll say what.
I love
Go ahead.
the spirit of Pridnar watching over us in the corner.
Oh,
Pridnar
yeah.
we trust.
Where is he?
Top left of roll 20.
Oh yeah. Okay, I had it zoomed in. Pride Night. It's still Pride Month.
Yeah.
Oh.
Honestly, so that Davis's little outburst was also me realizing, kind of in real time, that oh yeah, I can teleport with this thing, and I just never do because I don't fully understand it yet.
Yeah, but your teleportation yeah, that's true.
It's
That went
limited.
over my head.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I thought you
like,
were just talking about.
No,
I
it
thought you were just
literally
talking about
teleports. You and I specifically worked on it.
We spent a whole month on that, I think.
Yeah. So as this kite is kind of sailing through the sky,
We're a visitor.
you
Hello.
see this large entity kind of chasing after him. There's a noise that's kind of associated with it.
Caw-caw. We have friend in chat.
I've been setting this up. So yeah, you guys
Oh,
hear
What?
hello.
Yeah. And that's where we're going to take our little break as your friend is getting chased down
I'm
below
sorry.
you guys.